everyone, we're here to talk about your Week 7 waiver wire. Before we do anything else, one way you could help us out, please subscribe to the channel. It takes 1 second. Click the little bell. Let's see if you can help us get to 35,000 subscribers. By the end of the week, that's a good goal. I think we can do it together. Please help us out. Hey there, I'm Chris, and we are going to talk waivers. Before we get going, though, I want to remind you, I'm recording this before the 2 Monday night games, so we might have other potential waiver ads. The ads that we have for you in this show are going to be interesting. Maybe there's some more interesting ones coming on Tuesday. For the latest, please check out my podcast. I do it 5 days a week. You can find it at harrisfootball.com. As always, we'll start you out with the shallow league names, and these are mostly familiar names that we've done some film work on here in the past 2 weeks on the channel. Brandin Cooks now has the look of an every week starter in all formats. I'm reminding you here not to forget about the 2 Chargers guys coming off of a bye week. I think I prefer Justin Jackson to Joshua Kelley based on how they were used last Monday night. Also, Dallas Goedert. We now know Zach Ertz is going to miss a month, and the suspicion is that Goedert will be back for Thursday night. If he is a must start in that game. And tops on that list, we showed you video on this guy last week too. Chase Claypool. He didn't score 4 touchdowns again, like in week 5, but it's time to start believing in Claypool as a shallow league starter until he provides some kind of evidence to the contrary. Obviously, we know that fantasy receivers are dependent on how many times the quarterback throws them the ball. We can't control that. But I want you to pay attention to the way Claypool on this pretty simple kind of out and up route separates on the final few steps with the ball in the air. It's the kind of thing I just don't think you can learn from a box score, that ability. Certain guys just have legs that don't work like regular human legs. This winds up not being a touchdown. They ruled him out of bounds, but it's a simple little out route. And then in the open field, he doesn't have crazy maneuverability or anything. Just the way each stride completely swallows up the earth. 4 touchdowns might have been a fluke, but I don't think this kid is a fluke. And he got this play again, just like he did last week. We're showing you all this, and we're going to stop. Right? The point we're trying to make here with Claypool is he's still available in more than half of Yahoo leagues after last weekend. He's the #1 pickup. He might be a superstar. He's going to be ranked ahead of Juju this week in my ranks. Go get Chase Claypool. Okay, we'll get to more waiver ads in a minute. First, a note from our sponsor. It is from Manscaped. They are making this show possible today. This is my lawnmower 3.0. It works. I use it all the time. Precision tools for your family jewels. It's a body trimmer, and it's fantastic. And before you giggle and say, oh, come on, who needs a body trimmer? Who needs to groom below the belt? I would say maybe you should ask your partner. I'm just saying don't completely reject it until you ask. I'm guessing they might say, yeah, that would be kind of nice. And the Lawnmower 3.0 has a ceramic blade and skin-safe technology. You're not going to get any nicks or cuts anywhere you don't want them. And fellas, you do not want to shave down there with the same razor you use on your face. Manscaped products are now available in the UK, Canada, and Australia. We really should be grooming down there. Plus, they've got tons of other grooming products to make you look and smell great all over. Great way to support this channel. Go to manscaped.com, get 20% off with the code HarrisTube. I know, you're giggling. Now stop giggling and ask your partner, and then go get the Manscaped trimmer. Okay, now it's time to dig into the deeper league names that we might be adding normally. I count down from 5 to 1. I'm not going to force it. I got 4 names for you. I'm going to count down from 4 to 1, but we'll show you some film on some guys, and hopefully we'll learn a little bit. Okay, at number 4, I'm going to have Niners rookie running back JaMycal Hasty, and this is probably the play where Raheem Mostert hurt his ankle on Sunday night. You can see a tackler get tangled up with his feet and rolled over. Mostert would go on to try to play in the second half, but only make it through a single carry. First man up to replace him was Jerick Mckinnon, who, I don't know, as a runner, I like him as a receiver. It's not fair to pick on a couple of runs. McKinnon only had 6 carries for 18 yards. I can't tell you I'm positive Jerick McKinnon is no good. He's fine, right? But I can tell you who I thought looked better. I thought by comparison, JaMycal Hasty looked shot out of a cannon. A short, squat, quick guy who landed this first run with some oomph. Okay, only 205 pounds, only 5'9", but you can see sharp adjustments here without slowing down and not some shrinking violet through contact. This one winds up being a pretty big hole, but you'll see Hasty have to go find it, right? And you also notice the linebackers in the hole kind of racing to it and trying to meet him, and it looks like they're surprised by how fast he gets through. He's by him before they can really do anything about it. And this one doesn't look like much. It happens fast. It's that prototypical Kyle Shanahan outside zone, and I like the cut. I like decisiveness to pick a hole in outside zone and go hard. Now, as of our recording this, we don't know what's up with Mostert. We certainly don't know whether Hasty would get the gig if Mostert can't play. McKinnon's still there. Tevin Coleman could get activated at some point. There's Jeff Wilson. But JaMycal Hasty is on the radar screen. I have Lamichael Perine at number 3, and I don't love it. I'm not going to lie. I suspect no Jets running back will be worth very much from this point forward. It's very clearly the worst offense in the league, and Perine himself did not dazzle on Sunday. But, let's take a look. I mean, it's not fair to even preface by saying he didn't dazzle. It's not really possible for a Jets running back to dazzle. Perine has a little more weight to him than Hasty, but also pretty clearly, at least so far, hasn't shown the same kind of change of direction or acceleration we just saw from Hasty. I don't know. It's hard to know if that's all the Jets' offense. Maybe there's untapped potential here. Frank Gore played 25 snaps to Perine's 39 snaps. Suffice it to say, if you're adding Perine, you're doing it for bench depth at the moment. And this wasn't awesome. It's an easy drop out of the backfield. It got him benched for a little while in the game. As a prospect, Perine was sort of, fringe territory for me anyway. It's kind of where he still is. For me, don't give up a bunch of fab or a high waiver spot to get him, but speculatively in a deeper league, you might try. Okay, at number 2, a repeat from last week as well. Every time we show J.D. McKissic on the channel these past few years, we talk about how much we like him. He's a good player, and Washington this week decided, let's let him be a little bit more of a running back. He's not a world beater. His talent isn't so extraordinary that it's going to lift an offense, but from his years with the Seahawks and then his cup of coffee with the Lions last year, you've heard me say nice things about J.D. McKissic for years. He's under 200 pounds. His thing is pretty much all quickness. He's never going to be a star. But the way things are shaping up in D.C., they seem committed to using him in a pretty tight committee with Antonio Gibson. And here's what it looked like against the Giants. I didn't expect this kind of workload, and I don't know, maybe it was related to Gibson's toe injury that bugged him leading up to this game, but it's clear McKissic isn't going anywhere, and frankly, it wasn't a blowout or anything. He has a path to reasonable touches. I don't want to linger too much more on J.D. McKissic. We did him last week, too. You're adding a player like McKissic if you need an emergency short-term running back, and there is not a lot of upside with McKissic, no question about it, but the past 4 weeks, Gibson has gotten you, in each of the 4 games, between 9 and 15 PPR fantasy points. And at number 1, I have Eagles running back Boston Scott, who looks like he'll start for the Eagles against the Giants Thursday night. And just to refresh your memory about the last time Boston Scott faced the Giants, this happened Week 17 last year, sort of an epic run. We've seen this little dude come to Philly's rescue when they most needed him before, and it looks like they're going to need him again. And that's because on this play, Miles Sanders hurt his knee. I loved the change of direction by Sanders at the line. Good vision. What's not to love about him running the length of the field? He's fast. It's not great when you fumble away your potential 75-yard touchdown. And Sanders also hurt his knee on this play. As of my recording, the Eagles seem to be announcing it's going to be a 1 to 2 week absence, which feels like a best-case scenario. And it wasn't the best day for Boston Scott thereafter. He touched it 4 times all second half, and twice inside the 5. And he's incredibly small. And on the second one, he had a chance and didn't quite get in, and then Carson Wentz would steal the 1-yarder thereafter. But go back to last year. Sometimes these little guys have a way of squeezing through the cracks that the big guys can't. Boston Scott had some goal line success when Sanders couldn't stay healthy last year. He's another one who's not a star. He bears some resemblance to McKissic. If you need to win now, he might be a guy to add, right? He's at least probably going to get a start. Remember, Corey Clement is still there. Jason Huntley is still there. In week 7, if I'm guessing Boston Scott gets the most Philly running back touches. So here you have it. It's just 4 guys, and it's all running backs on this list, and it's not an amazing group. I don't know, by the same token, the very clear consensus among everyone, including me, last week was you got to go get Alexander Mattison and spend for him. It's worth it to spend for a win. And yeah, he went out and had 10 carries for 26 yards Sunday. So, we don't always know what's going to happen. Nobody here looks like they're worth spending big for. But I don't know, maybe Sanders winds up being injured worse than we think. I don't hate the idea of trying McKissic in the short term. Hasty is intriguing. There's just a lot of names who could get healthy ahead of him on the depth chart. And there are other positions we could think about adding. I thought about putting Travis Fulgham back on the list, but Deshaun Jackson is supposed to come back for Thursday night, and Dallas Goedert, as I mentioned. You've got potentially Anthony Firkser, right? If Jonnu Smith is actually hurt worse. Firkser went kind of crazy. I could see adding Keelan Cole in a deeper league, but he's been very up and down as well. To be honest, I don't think I'm giving up much fab or much in way of waiver priority for any position that's not running back right now, unless they're super obvious guys, and there don't seem to be a lot of super obvious guys. That's going to do it, but remember, this did not include the 2 Monday games, so we might have some more waiver guys to talk about on the podcast on Tuesday. Check it out at harrisfootball.com. Again, please subscribe and go get a Manscaped trimmer, because without them, this show would not have happened. Thanks for watching. We'll see you. Thanks so much for watching. Please, please, please smash that like button, write a comment, tell us who else you'd like to see us review film on, and of course, best of all, please subscribe to our channel and then click that little bell above the subscribe button and you'll be notified whenever we post a new video.